eminent personalities and participants present on the virtual platforms, either on Google Meet or on YouTube. We are also grateful to have Professor Devnarayan Bandyopadhyay, Vice Chancellor of Bankura University, with us today. Today is the first day of our two-day international webinar on virus pandemic, social impact and solution, organized by IQAC and NSS unit. We have today a host of esteemed scholars lined up for you who are going to share their perspective on this theme. Times are very difficult in these distressing days, and this pandemic has significantly altered our professional and social life on many aspects. We are struggling every moment to survive. This unprecedented change has been generated anxiety, insecurity, uncertainty among us. It had forced every one of us, including teachers and students, from physical classroom situation to virtual platform. So, in such a condition, we are in need of some remedial measures to deal with it both physically and psychologically. Therefore, today's panel discussions will be highly relevant and significant for what we are all going through in this contemporary time. So, without much ado, I would like to begin today's academic venture by inviting our respected principal, sir, Dr. Pradeep Kumar Banerjee, who has been a chief motivator and coordinator behind everything. And without whose relentless guidance and encouragement, this webinar would not have been possible. Sir, please deliver your welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Richa. Good morning to all of you. On behalf of our college, I welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Devnarayan Bandyopadhyay of Bankura University, our President, Sir, and patron of this webinar, my respected speaker, dignitaries, faculty member of different colleges, my colleagues, research scholars, students, to this two-day international webinar on viral pandemic, social impact and solution is organized by IQAC and NSS unit of our college. I'm really grateful to our Vice Chancellor, Sir, for joining with us in spite of his very busy schedule. I heartily welcome to my friends, Dr. Schulmeier from Germany, for kindly accepting our invitation to speak on this digital platform. I'm also grateful to Mr. S. Pathak and my friend, Mr. Pinaki Roy, for joining with us in spite of their very busy schedule. Thank you to my all respected speakers for their kind presence. Our college was established in December 1986 and it was named after the world's greatest artist, Jamini Roy, who pioneered the modern art and culture not only in India but also throughout the globe. Presently, our college is affiliated to Bankura University under the dynamic leadership of our Vice Chancellor, Sir. The goal of our college is to cultivate the strength of our students as well as to improve their weakness. I feel very happy to inform you that we have a very sincere, active and disciplined NCC and NSS unit. And the students of these units keep themselves always busy in organizing various social work. They are doing very great work in helping the poor people with food, medicine, sanitizer during this lockdown period under the leadership of Mr. Haradhan Karmakar, volunteer, and Professor Ramkrishna Mukherjee, program officer of our NSS unit. But this COVID pandemic has been damaging our everyday activities of our life and posing a great challenge not only to us but to everyone throughout the globe. This pandemic has thrown everybody into a deep social, economical, and psychological crisis. All countries are trying to cope up with this horrible situation and trying to find out way of solution. From the academic point of view, it badly affected the traditional mode of teaching learning processes, and the taking classes like before is not possible now. However, we have managed to develop a learning management system to teach each student away from the college. But to develop infrastructure for this learning management system is another challenge to us. But anyhow, we are managing this challenge. In this context, we have organized this platform to meet together and to find out the new ways to deal with this challenge. I am sure that we will get very valuable and resourceful information from our respected speaker, and they are very master in this field, in the respective field. That may be helpful for you to find out new solution against this pandemic. I convey my thanks to IQAC coordinator, advisor, convener, joint convener, member of this platform, and others who extend their hands to organize this webinar. I convey my special thanks to Richa Vishwas, professor of our college from the Department of English for his dedicated and sincere service. I also convey my special thanks to my technical staff, Ujjwal Kaur, for his dedicated and sincere service in this webinar. And I must admit, without his help, it could not have been possible to organize this event. I'm also thankful to my staff, Ranjit Kaur, for his dedicated and selfless service. Firstly, I want to say that we are organizing the webinar for the first time on this digital platform. And thus, if some technical or other problem occurs, I beg to be excused. That stay safe and healthy. Thank you. Thank you all. Please enjoy your webinar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind and warm welcome address. Now we are moving towards our next session. It's my pleasure and honor both to welcome Professor Devnarayan Bandyopadhyay, Vice Chancellor of Bankura University, who has kindly consented to take some out of his busy schedule to be with us. Professor Bandyopadhyay is a name in himself, and he literally needs no introduction. A legendary academician, and I would say a great teacher. Here, I will take some liberty to say that I am one of those privileged who got the opportunity to attend his class directly. He is someone who has got expertise in diverse fields of study. It is again an honor to host you, sir. Please go ahead with inaugural address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I must first of all congratulate Jamini Roy College for organizing this virtual platform for exchange of ideas. I particularly congratulate the principal, Pradip Babu of Jamini Roy College, his very dedicated crew of staff, and other teachers and other non-teaching staff of the college for making it very successful. And as I can see that it's going to be an international webinar where I find Horst Schulmeier is there from Germany. He will give his ideas regarding the pandemic. And I believe that there is also Professor Pinaki Roy who will be giving us some ideas regarding this. So I'm really grateful to the college for organizing this. Personally, Bankura University, with me as the project leader, has launched an application for the Newton Bava Research Fund organized by British Council and the British government, in which we have launched a proposal for looking at the post-COVID world. It's a kind of envisioning the future, because we know that till a vaccine comes up, this locked up situation, this artificially constructed self-isolation will continue. And it is in this respect that we actually concentrated on, at Bankura University, we concentrated on a particular segment of society, the aging populace. The aging populace, especially those who are above 65, and how are they coping with this new pandemic? How are they trying to adjust to themselves? Because they are the most vulnerable. So this idea of vulnerability and the adjustment of the entire society with this newly found virus. Man's battle with pandemic is not really new. If we read the medical history of diseases, then we'll see that there are records of this kind throughout the pages of history. I can very instantly remember that in the 5th century BC, there was a terrible plague which killed more than 1 lakh people only in Athens. Pericles, the great leader of the Athenians, also died because of plague. And we are all familiar with the London plague from time to time, from 1600s. I can give you an example. We all know about the famous poet John Milton, who wrote his famous epic Paradise Lost, was very, very much disturbed by the outbreak of plague in London and fled away from London and moved away to a smaller, laid-back village with his family in order to stay safe and stay healthy, as we give the slogans nowadays. So that's why it's not that it's something new. It has always been there. And that's why the famous line in Bengali, Mari niye ghar kori. So this kind of idea of the Mahamari, the idea of the pandemic, the idea of death, the idea of isolation, these are creating a new kind of societal configuration. And naturally, the idea is that we should try to consider the political, the economic, the cultural impact of the pandemic. So it can be seen individually, it can be seen collectively, and we can look at the huge spectrum of society, how it is behaving in different ways, and how it would behave. So that's why, as I say, that it's just envisioning the future. It's not just embedded in the present. It's embedded in the present, of course, but it also looks forward to the future. The future may give us good news in terms of discovering a vaccine. There are many, many different claims. And again, we should also consider the nature of the gossips. The nature of gossips, the nature of different kinds of fake messages and stories being floated in different public platforms, the social media and others. So that also should be very carefully considered. So I'm sure, I'm not an expert on this, um, but I'm sure our experts who are present in this um, webinar, which will continue for 3-4 days, as I understand, uh, will be contributing very substantially to the enrichment of our ideas. So I once again thank all of you, the organizers, the participants, the students, the teachers, the eminent speakers, everyone. And with this, I conclude my speech and thank you very much again, Wali Babu, for kindly giving me an opportunity to share my views with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful deliberation. It's always a pleasure to listen to you, sir. Now we will move forward to our next session. And I'm going to hand over the microphone over to Professor Debaprakash Bhattacharya, head of the IQAC and professor in the Department of History, who will act as a chairperson for the next session. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The theme of this webinar, as expressed in its title, is pretty self-explanatory. It is also a rather popular theme nowadays in the sense that almost every other university and college is organizing similar webinars on similar themes. However, we hope to make a difference with this one. Now, it is out there in the public domain that this pandemic started from a particular place in China called Wuhan. In this context, I'm reminded of a popular saying or a popular curse, in fact, which is out there in the public domain, attributed to the famous Chinese philosopher Confucius. May you live in interesting times. Now, the meaning of this is that in history, the most interesting times are those which tell us about rebellions and wars and revolutions and such turbulent events. They are interesting to study, but they are terrible to live through. That is the gist of the curse. It appears that we are also cursed to live through interesting times. These are interesting times internationally. Now, that having been said, epidemics and pandemics are not anything new, as has already been mentioned by the Honorable Vice Chancellor. There are many instances in history of epidemics and pandemics happening. There is a long record of that in India and internationally also. I am reminded of the 1347 Black Death, which was the bubonic plague in Europe. It left almost the entire continent depopulated. There are several other instances into the details of which we might not go because of the paucity of time. There is always paucity of time. So, geopolitics today is changing even as we speak. The pre-COVID world and the post-COVID world are not going to be the same. And as a student of history, I can say that we are seeing history being made in front of our eyes. Now, that is at a macro level. At a micro level, there is the individual struggle to deal with the pandemic. And that has not only its physical aspects, but also its psychological aspects. This brings me to the first deliberation of this session, which is by Dr. Horst Schulmeier. Forgive me if I am mispronouncing his name. He is from Baden-Württemberg, Germany, and he is a medical specialist for pediatrics and child and adolescent psychiatry. Dr. Schulmeier is a senior consultant at the Department for Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, Klinikum Stuttgart, the largest hospital in Stuttgart, Germany. Stuttgart is a name well known to us, and it is the capital of the state called Baden-Württemberg in Germany. He will speak on the psychological effect of the pandemic on children and adolescents. Thank you. Over to Dr. Schulmeier. Hello. I invite Dr. Schulmeier to deliver his lecture. Hello, I think I'm not getting through.
Hello, good morning. You can hear me?
We can hear you, sir. Please go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. Morning. So I actually wanted to present some foils by PowerPoint, but technique is not working. So you cannot see the foil.
Hello, there seems to be some kind of technical problem. I request those at the technical end of things to kindly take care of it.
It's possible to see the foil, to see my screen on your screen? Sorry?
Yeah, you are visible on our screens.
Doesn't work. So anyhow. Wait. So you can see my foils on your screen? It's possible?
Yeah, we can hear you and see you, sir. Please go ahead.
No. The question is, I want to start a presentation. Yeah.
The PowerPoint screen is not visible. The PowerPoint screen is not visible. We can see you.
So maybe so let us start. Sorry, I'm very sorry, but I provided a lot of foils by PowerPoint, and
you can
maybe
share your screen, sir.
PDF
So there is option below, and you can share your screen.
So just let us start, because, yeah. So at first, I want to say thank you very much for invitation. And many people think life of human beings has to go on safe, successful, and pleasant. And they also think that every day should be the same as the day before, just in the same matter. But actually, we know it isn't, and especially with Corona pandemic, we see it's not always changing the life. So we know from inventions in history, we know events which no one had expected before. Remember the invention of letterpress, of the car, of mobile phone, or some historic events, for example, the accident in nuclear power station in Ukraine and Chernobyl, the reunion of Germany, or Nelson Mandela as the first colored president in South Africa. So you can go on with that list. Even the human development in childhood is not running continuously. It always changes, and it always moves faster or more slower. For example, most people think children, they start smiling, they learn to move on their arms, they turn around, they do toddling, walking, speaking. But in fact, most common development of children is inconsistent. It's skipping, it's moving suddenly and surprising. It's running like the water in a river, sometimes slowly and sometimes faster. But the law is it is always, all time in movement. So children are not less intelligent than adults. On what age you would give a person respect and dignity? Is a toddler less worth than a grown-up, adolescent, or an old senior? In fact, it is always the same person, just running through its development. So that means education and, also children psychiatric are important subjects because children are our future and they are worth we handle them with care and with respect. Without children, the world would be cold and dead. Even toddlers understand different languages. They realize conflicts between parents and they also realize complex physical laws. We know that. For example, toddlers, small babies from different cultures, they have a different manner to cry. So German babies, they cry different than French or Italian babies. You won't hear it, but we are able to differentiate it and to find out from which culture babies are coming. And we know some severe psychological, they start in very early childhood. For example, personality disorders, depression, attachment disorders, disorder of social behavior, emotional disorders, and so on. So attachment and development of character and personality starts from the very beginning, perhaps even before pregnancy. So I would like to go with you by a quick run through the biography of a child until to be an adult. And then afterwards we would look what it means with the process to corona. So biological development begins before birth. It is the question for partnership of the parents. Has there been a common desire for children? What is the reason parents want to have children? Are they willing to take responsibility for their family? What is about reliability? Then in pregnancy, how is the situation of the mother? She has to work, she has problems, stress, conflicts, anything like that. It is an attempt at emancipation to do it better than their parents had done before. The attempt of stabilization. What is about the soul life between mother and unborn? Birth. That means a very strong physical experience in a very short time, very strong. So we only have this experience at the end of life again. So it means to differentiate between hot and cold, between dark and light, heavy and light, rough and smooth, to regulate your temperature, to feel hunger, to breathe by yourself, to be separated, to feel alone. That's all in a few seconds has to be handled by the newborn now. Next step is infancy of the newborn. So the newborn is totally helpless. The most important task is just to survive. And maybe we have children with deprivation or the risk of low child welfare. Children, they show easy care, but they are not easy. They are quiet and they're starting attachment disorders. Next step is phase of anxiety. I did not found on this place the English word for this phase, but that means when children can differentiate between different persons and they cry when the mom is going out of the room. I think you know this phase in childhood. Younger children, before visiting school, they are exploring their environment. They can move, and when they can move, so it's the first stress on mother-child relationship, because nobody knows how far the child is moving out and who's waiting for each other to bring back. That make perhaps helplessness in the mother. That starts opposition in the children. We know feeding disorders, or we know children who does not want to sleep, or they are always crying. Yeah, it's back again. Sorry. There was a technical problem. And then next step is language acquisition. It gives more distance, more possibilities. So you do not have to move physically, you just can say, I would like to do, you can ask. So it gives you much more possibilities to organize the connection to other persons. Expanding the possibilities, more complicated it is. Next step means social groups with interaction. Children want to play with each other. They acquire social orientation, and they train their here again. They are running, they are balancing, they are walking backwards, they are jumping, and they feel themselves in the center of the world. They do not think about the impression they give to other people. When children are going to school, it needs a cognitive requirement. Working structure, plan their life, accepting reality, collecting information, extra-familiar rules and norms. They want to know how the world is going on. And this is the first time we see perhaps constitutional weakness, learning disabilities, over-adjusted, or steps back to a regression and like enuresis or ankle braces. In early adolescence, beginning of puberty, so children do not share everything with parents still. They make out things alone or with their friends. They think about what others think about them. They would like to know what other people see in them. They communicate with each other, and they are looking for strong experience. They think about death, about suicide. The parents feel they are losing the control, perhaps. And there's an asynchrony of physical and mental development. Body always is quicker than mental development.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you.
And in this age...
Sir, can you listen?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Sorry to interrupt you, but please set your screen according to your head, sir. Your head is coming out from the screen. So please set your
hear me again?
Set your face according to the screen, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I think you need
and
to a little bit back from the screen so that your face is completely visible. Sir? Hello, sir. I think there is a network error. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you again.
Yes, sir.
So
Sir,
I tried to.
sir, can you see your face on the screen? Can you see your
Yes.
face on the screen, sir?
Yeah. Yeah. Get it.
Yes. Is it your head is coming out of the screen?
I don't
Yes.
know.
Now your face is completely visible, sir.
Okay.
Now please go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then we have the end of school. That means the people have to find their place in their life. So that's the step they have to do by themselves, because there are no parents, no teachers who can do that. That means perhaps an autonomy crisis, the last stage of autonomy development, and it needs an integration in social life with the concept of self for a realistic future. In this age, maybe people find problematic friends, problematic partners. Maybe they have conflict with public order, maybe development of delinquency, taking drugs, abuse. They have perhaps psychological problems which does not vanish again. And now we want to look at personal factors. We are not any machines, everyone is unique, and we are a complex mixture from genetic factors, temperament, biological experiences, disease process, learning processes, cultural, historical, familiar habits, role models. There's so much which comes together in one person. And the way of reaction on stress, problems, questions in life, it's quite simple. We have, on one hand, introversion, inhibition. On the other hand, we have activation, extraversion. But we want to know active and what are distressing factors. Distressing factors may be disappointment, loss experience, trauma, abuse, overwhelming, lack of appreciation, and so on. You can write this list longer. On the other hand, we have sorry? Yeah. That means perhaps stable bonds, emotional learning, transfer of experience, role models, reliability, age-related requirements and content, finding sense in the life, and so on. But competence cannot be acquired without crisis. You need the crisis for development, and you can win or you can lose. On the other hand, both steps are possible. So importance and assessment of stress factors and resources always depend on the cultural. Hello? Yeah. So the situation was suddenly and it was surprising. So here I'm again. Sorry for all these technical problems. So I stopped talking about the meaning of corona pandemic. We feel helpless. We have no ideas. Some people have fear. Some people are in panic. And it's a great market for strange theories like racism, populism, etc. But people are very powerful, so they spend a lot of money for corona and sorry. That's not, sorry, PowerPoint is not working. And it costs about $2.7 trillion. If mankind would have used this money before, all people would have safe water in the world, all people would have city and better social conditions. And of course, it's a great lack in economic conditions. For example, unemployment in all countries is
বলো ভিডিওটা ঠিক আছে
so people think maybe 500 million people will put into poverty by corona. And even in India, unemployment is rising up. You know that much better than me, because people are not allowed to go out in the lockdown. So the problem of shutdown is to find the right just from economic view than to open and to leave the people go out. But there are different countries, and so here you see European countries, Spain, Germany, Italy, and the UK. And you look down after unlocking, so the rate of infected people is sinking. In India, we have the opposite. The rate of infected people still is rising. So that makes fear for people and for the families, and even for children. In Germany, we saw more violence against children during the pandemic situation. Oh, I have no sound. Okay. What are children thinking about in corona crisis? Nearly 3/4 are missing their friends. More than the half of children feel the situation is boring because they cannot go out. Some enjoy to spend more time with their family than before. Children are feeling alone, and a certain percentage have fear. Violence against women in relationship, in their own relationship. So worldwide, you can see it is a common problem in India, but even in all other countries in the world, it's a problem. You know that. the rights of women are still very worse. So here you see the percentage of women in national parliaments worldwide. Green means more women, red means only a few women. Now, what is if don't worry on, because maybe so. Hello? You can hear me again?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no. Let us go on. I'm very sorry, but cannot change the technical conditions. So that is the reason we make inventions, we explore the world, and sometimes even we are fighting against each other because we think one of us has more rights than the other. Or the reasons and phenomena in the world, and this is the same what children want to know. They want to understand how the world is running.
এখানে সবাইকে লেআউটে দেখাচ্ছে যে বাচ্চা একটা এগুলো ইয়ে করা যাবে না
The dignity when they have the power to understand the world. So maybe even the pandemic crisis is a dialogue between fear on one hand and safety on the other hand. What kind of answers we have for the pandemic? Most such strategies are ideas from past tense, and they use kind of military vocabulary. We are fighting, we are killing this, we want to win, and virus is threatening us. The weapons of these strategies is the hope to find vaccination, to find medication, and to stop the virus by lockdown. But unfortunately, actually, all these strategies are not very successful, honestly, because the virus is still alive, it is still spreading out worldwide more and more. There's no vaccination, there's no specific medication, and there's no idea what will happen after lockdown and how we will manage the virus after lockdown. Maybe perhaps tomorrow we have a vaccination idea. Nobody knows. We hope so, but what is when not? So everyone does not like to die today, and maybe you still have the idea tomorrow I may be infected and I will die. Children think about their parents and they have fear, even they have no longer parents, they have no income, they have no food, they have no school. But the most problems to die, the most reasons is high pressure, smoking, high blood sugar, and so on. So Corona worldwide still is a very, very low reason to die compared with other ideas to die. The number of deaths by cause worldwide in 2017, cardiovascular diseases had been about 18 million. Next had been cancers, next respiratory diseases, dementia, digestive diseases, and so on. So even in the world, you have different reasons to die. For example, diarrhea in India, in Africa, in India, also tuberculosis, also the share of deaths from suicide is very different, and the rate of suicide in India compared with other countries worldwide is a bit higher. The death of road accidents, natural disasters like earthquake, like rain, like thunderstorms, storms, and so on.
Sorry, there's a network problem, I think. Please cooperate with us.
Hello, I hope I'm audible to everybody. There seems to be a major technical problem in this session. I think Dr. Schulmeier is back. Are you back, Doctor?
Yes, here I am again.
Okay, please
Yeah.
go ahead.
Let us go on. So I'm very sorry, but on the other hand, it's incredible. We can talk Germany to India and vice versa. So don't matter, and I go on. Just what is necessary to accompany children in stressful situations? So the first very important step is the caregiver, adults or teachers or neighbors, friends, has to be open for discussion and in this topic. So you cannot stable other people when you are not stable in yourself. So don't have fear to talk about psychological, about economical or social problems. Don't worry about death, because when you have fear before death, you cannot stable your children. That means you need own concepts of death. You need own concepts for corona pandemic, and that does not mean you have the right concepts, because there are many concepts in the world, but you have one for yourself and you have to be open for the concepts of other people. You should have an anxiety-free atmosphere without any taboos, and so the children feel they can ask you. Every one of us has different problems in his life. Everyone feels different, and everyone has different needs for stabilizing. So perhaps one child has other problems than the next one, and there's no recipe to do it always in the same way. Children, they immediately feel when adults are open-minded, when they are honest, and they also feel immediately when the adult person is not stable, when the adult person is not honest. Yes, and of course, even children, they should be informed about severe and threatening events in their family, like economic problems, unemployment, hunger, illness, or death. Children should be given the opportunity to say goodbye just in case a relative has died. Words like death are no taboo words, and dealing with grief means nothing has to be, but a lot of things can be, because everyone is grieving different. So, on the other hand, children are not and never the supervisor for problems of adult persons. They are not in the role for stabilizing their parents. It's vice versa. Parents should stabilize their children and not children their parents. But in any case, parents should be stable.
The participants are requested to bear with us. There seems to be some technical problem. The link is not very good. I will take this opportunity to request everybody to type their questions in the chat box. If you have any questions for the participants, please type them in the chat box. And also, please switch off the cameras. Some of the participants' cameras are switched on. Please switch them off. Thank you. Hello, there seems to be a major technical problem. Therefore, we are forced to move on to our next speaker, who is a distinguished gentleman, Shri Pinaki Roy. Shri Pinaki Roy is a teacher and a social activist based in Jhoria, Jharkhand, India. His work is with children in a neglected area of the country which is far from the mainstream. His talk is on virus pandemic, social impact and solution. This promises to be interesting because inputs regarding solutions to the pandemic situation are always to be taken seriously. Shri Pinaki Roy, if you are hearing this, please go ahead with your presentation, sir. Thank you.
Neil?
Shri Pinaki Roy, sir, please go ahead.
Hello. Hello. I am audible and visible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes.
Yes,
Am
sir.
Yes,
I
sir, please.
audible?
Yes. You're audible and visible, sir. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Just for 1 second, I thank all of you, Jamini Rai College and its administrations, to invite me in this seminar. And we are also very thankful and to Mr. or Dr. Hort Sulmier who are there. Dr. Hort Sulmier, are you in line? Okay, just I think there is a technological fault. First,
Yes, sir.
I convey my thanks to the Vice Chancellor of the Bapur University. Hello, I am audible. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Uh, Vice Chancellor of the Bapur University and the Principal of Jamini Rai College and on his calling. Just according to this topic, viral pandemic, what we have done on the behalf of Coalfield Children's classes in Jharia Coalfield. Basically, today we will analyze this matter, how we have approached to the people. Actually, whenever the virus pandemic have started in this country, there is no much intensity that time during the, Janti curfew on the, I think on 22nd of March in this year. After that, when there is a closure declared on that night by the Jharkhand government, then there is a crisis emerged in the people of that Jharia Coalfield here. All suddenly, all kind of the job, especially the labor job, who are the doing the day-to-day work, their job have suddenly stopped. This was an unseen event not only for the Jharkhand or not only for the India, it is for rather for the world. Then the people became very frustrated. I use that term frustrated because their one imaginary fairness has grip in everyone's mind. So like every people, what they are thinking, what we should do. First 7-8 days that we have seen, there is a one kind of psychological fear was there. What will happen the next? What will happen? How much coronavirus is there? How coronavirus is like a dog or like a lion? They will come and they will eat us, like that fear. But when that 2 or 3 days or 4 days passed, then we have seen that is the migrant labor problem. The labor who are staying in that the metro cities in the Mumbai or Delhi, they have started to going to their home. So from that time, our total India has gripped in another part. Then the problem among these people who were the coal scavenger or coal loader in this area, in this coalfield area in Jharia and Dhanbad, they became very fearful. Suddenly, I have seen many children coming on the street. They are just trying to beg to eat for food. Some they are knocking to house. Then that turned our mind. We have seen especially I am talking about the Jharia and Dhanbad where I live in this place. In that place, we have seen so many people are coming out. So many, people are donating food also there. Then we have taken some project. And this project, the target or motto of the taking of the project to help the needy people. So what we have done onwards the first week of April, we have started a community kitchen. Community kitchen means simple. Who are the cook of a hotel or the restaurant nearby, they have been locked down and they cannot go to their home house in the West Bengal in Bankura or Purulia district. So one day they have started a project to feed some people with simple khichdi. Here we call that khichdi. Then we have inspired with them. So we have, my friends and my organization have taken a responsibility to feed them. So first is what we have done. We have done to run a community kitchen. In that community kitchen, what we have done in a place, I will show you in the figure later on. In that place, we every day around this time, 1 o'clock, we start a community kitchen where very needy people used to come for the eating. That is a midday meal. So we didn't take any kind of government help during that time. What we do, we have the sin that time, the people who are having a little bit of money, they are very helpful. They ring me and they call me, or our team member also, if you are just doing this kind of the good job, we can help, we can join with you. So so we have continuously, we have done that project up to 29 days, because there was that lockdown system was first lockdown, second lockdown, like that. Just before the third lockdown, on the 3rd May, we have stopped that project. After that, we have seen that the crisis has not gone, because nothing is open. All the shops are closed, all the factories are closed. The people who are staying here in Jharia coalfield, almost they are known as the coal scavengers. I mean, coal scavengers means they used to take coal from the mines, and after that burning, they used to sell this coal to the door to door. They are very poor and needy. So they are taking coal away from the natural resource, but due to all the restaurant, hotel, all the big consumptions factor where that coal is being consumed, that factories is also closed. So that coal is not being sold anywhere. So suddenly that their income has been dropped. Due to that slight fall of that drop, they became very, I mean, aimless. What they have to do. I heard some people over here have suicide, but there is no particularly evidence, because they have been rebuked by their family not to having food, but not for the earning. That is why. So what I do, I used to run an organization that is called Coalfield Children's Classes. I mean, this is a class particularly made for the very poor people, poor and needy people, especially for the children who are the son of the coal scavengers. I mean, I will show you later on that many students are there who are just taking their going to schools, but before going to school in the morning time, they every day used to go to the mines area. They collect some bucket of coal, 1 or 2. After that, during 9 o'clock, they keep that thing their home. Then they dress up and they go to the state government run schools over here. And they come back home. Again, that they used to, with their parents, they help and they burn the coal. And in the morning time, they go to the market. Their life is very struggleful. Very, very struggleful. If no one has seen it by his own eyes, they cannot believe how much, I mean, poverty they are leading every day. So after seeing them, what I did, I have more than 100 children with with that scavengers family. So I will tell you, they will be very need of money, and due to the need of money, they will send their children in the mines or any kind of the another job where they can get more earned. They will overlook the education part. That is the crisis of the society nowadays here. Yeah, that is the thing. That is why I consulted my friend with German, Dr. Horst Sulmer is there, my friend with the France, Edward Doig, or Daisy G. Nichols, and their association on the way to school. I have approached many of my friends who are working in the, some people who are living abroad in the America. So I took a project. I took what kind of project? I cannot continue a community kitchen. I cannot, because for running a community kitchen you need a help of many people. At least 40 people you need to run a community kitchen, because you need a body of a cooking team that is 7-8 people. You need a distribution team that is also consist of the 7-8 people. You need a management team, because there is a various law is there that social distancing. You have to maintain that social distancing continuously among the people who are staying. So you have to maintain that thing. There is a factor for the maintaining the peace and the hungerness, because in every kind of the pandemic we have seen, after the pandemic there is a crisis of food, and that due to the crisis of food there is a chaos between two snatching that food. So we cannot run that community kitchen. So I changed my idea. I have changed the village, and we survey the people who are the very needy people, and we give a food. If you allow me, then I can present some picture over here. Jamini Rai College, can you listen me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello, I am in link. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So just I'm trying to present. If it is broken out, then I will show my everything through my TV.
Okay,
Please
sir.
be on the line. Yeah. It is here. A picture is going.
No, sir. Not yet. Yes, sir.
Acha,
Not
okay.
yet.
Okay. I am just 1 minute. I think it will go now.
Yes, sir. You have an option below that is present now, and you can share your screen from that. button.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think now it's gone.
Not yet, sir.
Yeah. I have practiced that thing now. It can be seen. I think it's not going.
No, sir. Not yet.
Okay. I am vocabulary. I am just trying this thing because that is a thing I have tried. Okay.
Sir, if you can try once more, please click on the now
The
button
screen
and
here.
then
One
share
thing
your
is coming. Then now, entire screen. Then share.
present now, and then you can share your screen through
Then
tapping on the option, your entire screen.
Entire screen. I practice that thing. One more. I am trying. That is, hello. It's not going, na?
No, sir, not yet visible. Now, I think
It's
now
going?
it's working. Yes, now it's working because it's showing Pinaki Roy is presenting, but no screen is visible.
Yeah.
But
So
no
here
screen
is a Nil line on. I am checking.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Here just we can see that some ladies, all these ladies are standing there, coal scavengers. I mean, there is no demand during the lockdown. There is no shops or restaurant or factories are open. So we took some material, I mean, food material, New Delhi, from German or France. We got a kind of the help, monetary help, and of atta, I mean flour, 2 kgs of dal, sugar, and water bottle. Everywhere we have given so far 335 before the lockdown unlock one is going on open. So here we can understand that all things done that on behalf of Portable Children's classes, for that is special classes, but we have selected the mother of a family. Because we didn't select another, I mean, male people, because the mother are the men, people who look after the kitchen. So I knew, and we have surveyed that thing. So here we can understand the situations of that place. This is the coal mines area. This area is known as the Dobari. Here, just you can look that the backside is open, vast open cast mines. And due to this open cast mining, there this is the temple. This temple has been broken. So now what happened? This is the story about the 5th of May. Now today is the day of the 5th of July. I mean, after that 2 months, just 2 months, this totally settlement has been shifted. You cannot imagine how much the danger they are facing, and they are living in the dangerous condition. It is also very much very bad condition of the coal belt area. Not only in the area, bad area, bad if Raniganj area is also bad, that much of fire affected. Now the
Sir, am I audible? Pinaki sir? Pinaki sir, am I audible to you? Sir, if I am audible to you, your voice is not coming clear. Sir, your voice is not coming clearly, sir.
There seems to be yet another technical snag. The audience is requested to bear with us till it is fixed.
ফোনটা থেকে বলিস একটু ফোন করে বলবো
হ্যাঁ কি বল বলো বলো হ্যালো হ্যালো কবিতা
Oh, hello. Hello.
Okay,
Hello.
on behalf of I am Pinaki Rao speaking.
Yes, sir. Please. Yes. You're audible, sir.
Yeah, that is from another device. From another device. Please continue me.
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Yeah. So just I am speaking only because picture will not come here. So what happened in this project? We have shifted the mode of our operations. So from the community kitchen, we have provide the food materials to the village people who are living in the mine side area. So one day we are giving one area, the next day. So before that, how we we cannot give this food material to everyone who are staying. So we did one thing, that is first in the morning time we go to the any village, then we select we made a survey. In that survey, how much people are who are very needy. So we take their name, we printed out their name. After that, during the evening time, we select another team was there who used to buy the food material and packing with this. So 3 to 4 people food packing and purchasing, and one team we made to survey. So whenever the 2 people are doing 2 branches, and when the both of work has been contacted finally, then we go to the village, and in that village we provide them. But after doing this one after one 12 project, so we have gained some travel experience. That experience, whenever I just term it as a grain governance. Whenever we go to a mines village, they are very unknown to me. So that time, with that, whatever the government rules are there, means maintain social distance. You won't have to. You just have to cover your mouth or nose through the mask. We used to provide that mask also, and soap, not sanitizer. We didn't give any sanitizer because the people over here are not very much habituated to use the sanitizer, because they are not habituated to use that mask. Whatever, this is the first time. And first time you are making mankind as a trainer. So you need a problem, you need time. So that is the training period. We suppose before distributing the food, we used to teach the people who are the village people here how to live yourself, how to wash your hand, whatever the government or World Health Organization used to give the instructions. We repeat that instructions. We didn't do anything from on new. So I noticed one thing. For keeping up Anna Anushasan. Anna deke Anushasan. I mean, grain with the governance. So I think it can be done. But sometimes I also feel bad. In this is the disaster. Virus pandemic is a kind of the natural disaster, and we are very much united that time. During this disaster, how much we should help the people with the food grains, because the state government of Jharkhand, they are providing 5 kilos per head. Rice, only the rice, because so many ladies came in my house and they complained that we are getting only the 5 kilos of rice, but we only cannot live with this rice, because we need something more. We need sugar, we need oil, we need atta. But in that time, there is no much of help is being provided from any other NGOs also. They won't have that much of bank balance. They can spend their money from their bank. So the people who are hand to mouth, they have faced the crisis. The people like us who are sitting in the room and doing another kind of the tertiary job, we didn't face that kind of, because we have a little bit of bank balance. But whatever, not only with the people of this who are the coal scavenger or coal raider, because we have recognized our country from new point of view. When we have seen the people who are just walking away with that national highway, lakhs people, the migrant laborers, they are known as the migrant labor because they don't have any money. The people who are living in Mumbai having the money, they are not considered the migrant, they are resident. but there are people who are not having money. They are just considered as a migrant, and the migrant labor, they have seen, they have fought special. What is the crisis of the pandemic? What is the strength they have within themselves? They have. So I salute all of them. I salute all the coal scavengers people who are just suffering, who are suffering. So, so I mean, virus pandemic. If we have a time, just we can skip a little bit of one point, because about that Dr. Horsulmier, I heard that Dr. Horsulmier suffered a lot during the lockdown time in the Calcutta airport or Delhi airport. He can share experience in 2-3 minutes whenever our question session will go that time. So virus pandemic problem has been faced by the people who are from the lower middle class. Maybe it is not same thing as the agriculture sector in the village of the West Bengal, but the people who are living in the industrial belt or mining belt, they have suffered a lot. The people of the West Bengal who are beside in a village, or who are just earning their money from their paddy field, they didn't feel it. They have felt only the one kind of the curfew they have felt. They didn't see what is the crisis of the food. But the people, who are the coal scavenger or coal loader and the daily labor jobs, they have felt, especially in the Jharia Dhanbad area. So not only our work in this Dhanbad and Jharia coalfield area, many social organizations, they have started to providing food. Many social organizations, and according to the daily report or newspaper report, that is more than 50,000 people are being fed by the local local NGOs like that. And this is the thing. This is the India. I think somewhere this is the India. When the India is facing a lot of problem during any kind of disaster, then the other people who have not that much of very strength, who have not that much of very powerful in their money, they are also coming and jump into the helping nature. So that is one of the main characters of the Indian people, what I have seen during any crisis, not every day. I can remember the day 20 years back when the Odisha super cyclone came, and from this Jharia we went 700 kilometers away from this Jharia Dhanbad to give the food materials with the materials. We have taken one truck, 80 packages of food from here to this place. Odisha Bhadrak, one village is there. So there I have seen many people in India, they are very helpful. They are very strength only there comes when they are in crisis. So I always request you have a very good NSS body. So I also thankful to the NSS National Service Scheme body to continue this kind of the social service job. Indian government and Indian government cannot do everything alone. That is responsibility to run our society. We need to take responsibility on ourselves. The onus we have to take on us. You have to. Whenever I request all my young students who are the students of Jamindra Rai College and listening and from any other college, to please come forward and help the society. If Dr. Sulmier from the Stuttgart, they can fill the children about the coalfield over here, then I also think that many people over here, they can also help here. I also am very much thankful to the Paris people, the association on the way to school. This association on the way to school, international body who has many organizations, many schools around the world. They have collaborations. Collaborations, they can joint venture, they can run. They are doing in South Africa, in Latin American countries, especially Ghana, in Northern America, some part of their country in France, and some European countries also there. I think Bolivia, Romania, like that. They have at least 16 joint venture companies there. So they have also joined with us. In Coalfield Children's classes, they have seen the crisis through the various film, and I request all my friends over here, and the student like community in Jamnarai College, to watch the conditions of the coalfield through internet. You just go through internet and search the Jharia coalfields, or the crisis of the Jharia coalfields, or fire of Jharia coalfields. You will find a wonder over here, because not related with the virus pandemic, but it's related also with the coalfield fire. Many people don't have any idea that from the earth the fire can emerge like the volcanoes. Here in Jharia coalfields, there is so many places are here that coal, that is buried coal, they have catched the fire and the flame is coming 7-8 foot. It's a very wonderful scene also, apart from that pollution, poisonous gas is coming out from that part. So here we can understand which kind of the lifestyle the rest of the people are living, and the lifestyle of the Jharia coalfield is totally different. But the coalfield of any another place, like the new coal belt as being opened in Birbhum district also, so they will not feel these things. They will feel after 60 years or 70 years. So that time, that COVID, that is so much of painful for us, because one of all, that the poverty is too much in the coalfield area. Before the lockdown period he was there. In his speech, Dr. Solmier said, if the billion of the money can be spent before that coronavirus for providing the drinking water, for providing the health facilities, so that will be not that much of effectful. So I also think how much the money has invested to prevent the coronavirus, how many money we have lost due to the economic crisis during the lockdown from worldwide also. If that part of the money is used for the betterment of the life, I think the world will come in another part. We are also very in this era, in this 3 months, we are learning, we are just discovering ourselves. Not only you and me, that mankind is discovering ourselves. How much we need in our daily basis, how much we have to take the social authority in the society. Here, the people who are just taking their day-to-day care, who are the people who are taking advantage from doing the mischiefs like corruptions. My question is in front of them. How much you will be benefited by through your corruptions? All the coronavirus, all the virus pandemic, you have been just to keep yourself inside. You don't have the people who are coming as a migrant labor, the people who are the coal scavengers or coal loader, they have come out there the street because the poverty has bring them on the road, and they are not affected. They are not affected. We didn't hard anything in our so much of the data is coming. India has lost that much coronavirus due to coronavirus. How much labor people are infected? It's my question. If any doctor is there who is listening to my questions, how much is that? People who are infected, maybe any death is very painful. Any death is very painful. But I think in the people who are suffering in day-to-day life, they will be survived. They will survive in the long run. That is the lesson from that coronavirus pandemic. Thank you. Thank you to all.
Thank you, Shri Pinaki Roy, for your excellent presentation. Please remain with us, sir. Thank you. Dr. Horst Schulmeier, if you are here, then kindly, if you could continue your talk.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Schulmeier's connection has once more been broken, I think, and I'll take the opportunity. If anybody has any questions, please type them in the chat box and we'll put them forward to the speakers. Dr. Schulmeier, are you with us? Hello, Dr. Schulmeier.
Yeah. Hello.
Dr. Schulmeier, yeah, thank you for staying with us. If you could kindly continue your presentation, sir.
I do not actually know on which point I had been thrown out before. You may help me?
Hello. Hello, doctor.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, doctor. Please speak. You're audible and visible. Hello, doctor. Hello.
You can hear me?
Yeah, hello, doctor. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
And you help me on which point I had been interrupted before? I had been speaking death.
You were showing us global statistics for domestic violence and violence against children. Hello. Hello. Hello, doctor.
So I had been.
Hello, doctor.
I had been speaking about. Yeah.
Yeah, you were speaking about domestic violence and violence against children.
Okay. Let's look. Even I had been talking about the cost of Corona epidemic. Even Pinaki Rao had been talking about, and about the problems, the economic problems, even which means problems for children because they are worrying about the future of their parents, and they see there's not enough food, there's not enough money to go for school and all that. So maybe 1 billion of people are thrown, and as you see, it is most
I think we again are facing network issues. Please bear with us. Be patient, and we are trying to fix it. Please cooperate with us.
Hello, doctor. Are you back with us?
yeah. I try to do it. The question is how long the unlock must go on, or is the unlock more expensive than we would accept the diseases, the infections? And on the other hand, people are not only dying because of coronavirus, they are also dying because they are not coming in the hospitals any longer, because people with heart attack, with lung diseases, with cancer, they do not go in the hospital because they are afraid they may be infected by corona people. So we do not count them. On this foil, you see if the lockdown was successful, because in all European countries, after finishing the lockdown with unlock, the number of infected people is going down again. But in India, the number of infected people, as you know, is still rising and rising. So maybe the lockdown was not very successful in India, or the question is what other could have been done. If we are honest, no one of us has better ideas. So I was talking about violence against children. These are German examinations. I translated it.
Sir, your picture is not coming clear. Can you fix it, sir? Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Your audio and video both are not audible. I think we have again lost our connection, and it is on Surmia's part. I think again we have connected. Over to Sulmaya sir. Can you hear? Can you hear me, sir? I think severe network issues, disconnected video and audio both. Please have patience and please cooperate with us. We're trying to fix it. So in between, I got one question from Rajiv Ghosh to Pinaki sir. Pinaki sir, can you listen to me? Pinaki sir, can you hear me, sir?
Hello? Yeah. Hello? I am audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got one question from Rajiv Ghosh. Would you
Yeah, I
like
have.
to take it?
Yeah.
So can you read the question or should I read it?
Yeah. No, I can read that question. Yeah.
Okay, so please go
Rajiv
on.
ji, just one thing. Thank you, Rajiv ji, for asking me this question. This is also first that viral pandemic is very new for all, for you, for me, for the government, for not for one country, rather for the world. But whatever that, according to that possibilities of the food providing by the government, here one thing is there. According to what we have studied from that in economics from the Amartya Sen written, during that, famine in 1946 in Kolkata, he has in one welfare paper, he has explained something. During that time, many people, million of people have died due to lack of the food in 1946. But during that time in Chandigarh, Food Corporation of India having a lot of food there. So from that knowledge, he has his one paper is also there. That is a distribution problem of food in India was that time very much, and the famine causes due to the distribution of food. Here's something unseen event. No one knows what is the accident or unseen event. So government have to be prepared for this kind of situations. And here in this virus pandemic, what we have felt, there is every government has tried their level best, but there is a confusion among the government. State government is listening not to the central government. What I feel personally, there is a competition between central government and the state governments in India. Whenever the central government announced the Janta curfew, without any information, where is the state government? Yes. Continue. May I continue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You continue, sir.
Yes. Whenever somewhere I heard what's that, right? Said I have faced one kind of the competition between the state government and central government. Suppose there is a, what I feel personally, I am very clear, I am not nothing fear to say these things. Then all the government try to exercise their power. I mean, the people who are under the government, they are not listening to the government properly. They are not maintaining the rules. This is the opportunity. This is the virus pandemic opportunity. We can fear, we can afraid the people in the name of the medicine. Then the people will lock down themselves in the house. First of all, it's happened for the 1 month. Next, what happened? Next, all the people, they are not afraid about this disease. They are coming out. They are not taking protection among themselves. If you go any part of that country, where is that? Whenever this first week or second week, the people who are getting afraid, who are getting the psychic problem within themselves about this virus pandemic, the virus will come and virus will eaten up, fear has been gone. So that is the thing. I mean, government tried both. Maybe central government, maybe state government tried to control their populations with the fear of the pandemic. One kind of this is a power exercise only, nothing else. Because one side, the central government is saying that you have to keep yourself in the home. Otherwise, you will be safe. If you will go and stay home, you will be safe. And second part, the people who are staying in that metro cities, in the Mumbai or Delhi, they cannot consider that Delhi or Mumbai is their own home. Because all the people who are residing in the Mumbai or Delhi, they all always say you are coming from the Bihar or you coming from the West Bengal or Jharkhand, like that. So this is Mumbai or Delhi is not your place. Your place is your home, your village. So there is a psychological conflict arise among them. One, home is what is home? Home is my village, and home cannot be our metropolitan cities, cannot be our home. So one, they have taken the government announce, we have to stay in the home, so we have to move. All of you know, especially Dr. Sulmir also knows what's happened here. 10 lakhs, more than 10 lakhs people on the first phase, not I am taking the second or third phase. They are walking on the street. Even one girl, one boy, knew that they have cycling than more than 1,000 kilometers. In the first date of 30th March, one people have arrived in, Agra, from New Delhi to Uttar Pradesh, 800 kilometers in the first page. That Jyoti Kumari and all these girls are coming in. That is the last third phase of that lockdown. They are coming out from home. So governmental preparation, I have nothing fair to say. The governmental assumption and preparation and the management was failure in the first place. Whatever the government has nowadays, just open the railway lines. They have taken the migrant labor from one place to another. They are running many trains nowadays. That thing should be done in the first half. Suddenly you cannot stop your running. Suddenly what happened? What is the result nowadays? Just government of India is running very smoothly. Suddenly one fair morning that is announced the 25th of March that everything is under lockdown. How it can be possible? How in this way, how are unlock 1, unlock 2, unlock 3 we are doing? Why we didn't do this thing in unlock 1, unlock 2, lockdown 1, lockdown 2, lockdown 3? First, transportation will be there. First of all, school, college, public places will stop.
I think.
Then transportation.
I think the two presenters are not present. So, what do you do?
No, Javinder, we can conversation. We can start. We can start a conversation.
Your microphone on mute. Satopriyo Behra, please put your microphone on mute.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible.
Satopriyo, yes. Satopriyo, I can hear you. You can ask me any question if you want.
Hello.
Yes, if you want to ask any question, please go on. Otherwise, put your microphones on mute.
You can ask me. Yeah, please go.
Sir, I think, sir, please go on. He puts his
We can.
on mute.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we have to every kind of the action, every kind of the decision. This is learning time. Coronavirus have taught us a lot, not for the individual, but for the organization, but for the government also. First of all, I want to answer Rajiv Ghoshji. Rajiv Ghoshji, you have asked me, is this possible? Yes, a daily life improvement by the government is possible when there is no sense of the political division in our country. In our country, there is one much of hindering thing, what obstacles is there, that is political feelings. Very sad to say, whenever we say any kind of the advantage or government aid is coming, that is divided and that is priority is given to the ruling party members everywhere. That should be, wave out. If the political integrity, why I want to say that the integrity among the political party in the name of the nation will be created, I think our country will be do. We always think, in spite of me also, I am not apart from the, Indian society, I am not apart from the Indian social systems. So we have a feelings about the advantage of the political party. If I support one political party, then I cannot tolerate the people who are members from other political party. Everything has been divided in the political atmosphere. That is the most dangerous part of our country. If we can organize ourselves as as an Indian everywhere, we have to think everywhere that we have to develop as a mankind. One day, surely, all of us as an Indian, we can develop also. And we are also considered as a very good race, good patientful race around the world. I have so many foreigner friends around the world. So from all of them, I used to get the praise about the Indian integrity, Indian oneness, because they always say, I'm just not talking about that COVID. I am aparting from the COVID point, but that is also lesson. But some political virus or that communal virus is more dangerous than COVID virus also. That is why I'm coming there to the point. If we can work togetherly for our country, I think one day everything.
Strongest and most serious question for mankind. So some people may answer, it is important, you are powerful, you have a lot of money, or maybe other people will answer, there is not any sense in life because life is just for having fun, or it's not worth anything. But perhaps we can find one answer which combines us when we want to live. So we have to understand the way how is life going on and how we are interacting together. So we try to find out in what way the world is going on, and we want to understand the conditions of life. And that is the question for children from the very beginning. You know, small children, when they ask, why is it so? Why is the sun rising in the morning? Why does the flowers need water? And very simple questions, but it shows they want to understand. That is the reason we give them education and we give them school and we go for university, perhaps one. So for this reason, people explore the world, they make inventions, they go out, and even they have struggles, they fight against each other because they think their own question is better than the question or the answer from other people. But we need answers for all the reasons and phenomena in the world, and otherwise we have fear, we feel powerless, and so if people have power, they feel dignity. Otherwise, you feel helpless. What are the reasons? Because people are dying in the world. There are so much different reasons, and as you know, perhaps the most important, the most often reason is high blood pressure, cardiovascular diseases. Then we go on like smoking, high blood sugar, air pollution, and so on. And even in the world, the reasons for dying, the reasons to have illness is very much different. So, for example, in India and Africa, you have a higher rate for diarrhea as in other parts of the world. We have more tuberculosis, and even suicides in India are more often than, for example, in Europe. Road accidents. Perhaps you are aware of natural disasters like earthquake, like thunderstorms, something like that. And very seldom is the reason for death because of terrorism attacks. When we look for children, we have to accept also the cause of death. For children is very much different than to elderly people. The most reason to die for children is to have an accident, a road accident, or not to be careful enough. So for elderly people, the reason to die is cardiovascular disease, cancers, respiratory diseases. But when we discuss about the risks for life, when we discuss about any serious reasons to die, we mostly speak about terrorism, we speak about criminals, we speak about suicide, and so on. We do not speak about the real reasons. So when children see there is a worldwide crisis, there is a disease, they also realize it might be serious, it might be mean that my parents will economic bad situation. It is not only to have no school, it is not only to have not to see your friends. So the severe ending point is maybe my family is in severe danger because my parents will go. So what ideas about death children have? So it is unavoidable. Everyone has to die, someone. That means the universality, sooner or later, everyone will die, every life will finish, will end. And it's a one-way road. No one comes back. You will not wake up, and there's no function of pressing the button for a reset or to start new again. Perhaps next life, we do not know, but this life will finish one day. And there are reasons we die. Because we are old, because we have a disease, we have an accident, we are killed, or something like that. So when, in which age children are starting to have an understanding for that? Younger children, they just think death will be like sleeping, it's just a step, temporary state, but they do not realize the serious background. kindergarten children, they think when a caregiver dies, they are punished because perhaps they have shown bad behavior, and they may answer with retribution. So they show bad behavior, but it's not bad, it's just they show the same as they have experienced in their mind before. Around the age of 9 years or a bit older, children try to develop the right concept of death like adult people. They understand the universality of death, the non-reversibility, and the causality of death. But honestly, the question for death, it is a strong question for everyone, and we have ideas in religion, philosophy, but we have no scientific answers. Let's have a look what we are doing in psychiatric therapy with people, with children. We have some ideas how we may treat children. For one hand, there is the biological view. We have very common schemes by birth, how we react, fighting or going on flight, escape reflexes. We have personality, disposition, temperament. I have been talking about that before. And there may happen any injury of the central nerve system. So natural dangers triggers the fear, and we have only a few specific biological medications for doing that, not so much, and not for solving all problems in our social or personal life. Then we have the psychoanalytic view. That means a symptom is the compromise to solve any unconsciousness conflict. That means we defend against our fear, and we need stabilization by dysfunction for these symptoms. Therapy is to bring light in this darkness, to have a relationship between patient and therapeutic person, and we want to detect all these unconscious conflicts. Family therapy looks on the system, on the whole family. How is the relationship? Who is the winner? Who is the loser? Who stabilize each other? Who makes more problems? Very complex situation. And it tries to change the system and the relationship in this family. Then we still have the behavioral therapy, like learning processes, conscious processes. We use operant conditioning, we use learning by the model, all the theories how people are learning and changing their understanding. We do relearn, we learn new, we change dysfunctional cognitions, we confrontate, we explain in psychoeducation, and of course we have concepts of pedagogic. Now have a look on some disorders, on what might be happen when we do not stable children enough, when we are not accompanying in a high quality, in a good way. First of all, we have fear. You and me, we all have fear. Fear in our biography changes. Maybe as a child, you had been fearing darkness outside, or perhaps even as an adult, you have fear of a spider big black spider, the snakes, all the wild animals, or perhaps when you are older, you have the fear your partner is going off, or you will become ill, or you will die one day. So we also have fear again of our own aggression and destructiveness. We have fear of isolation on one hand. On the other hand, we have fear to be too close together. You can handle your fear. So even when children have too much fear, they need persons who care for them and who show them you can manage your problems. There's one very special disorder, we call it emotionally unstable personality disorder. These people have extraordinary changes in their emotional stabilization. They hit themselves and cut themselves. Mostly they had bad experience by lack of warmth in family relationships. They had early separation experiences. Any person has died, parents have divorced, and they have mostly experience of physical or even sexual abuse. So they feel guilty, they feel worthless, they do not know what they are. And sometimes even they had psychological abnormal. Disorders of impulse control, abuse of alcohol or any other drugs. Depression in childhood, that means, you're still here? Yeah, sorry. That means even toddlers, newborn, have depressions. Long time we thought from the very beginning in life, but it has other symptoms. As younger person has more psychosomatic features we find, like screaming cramps, disturbance in feeding and sleeping, so all the regulation disorders. Tractations, that means the child shows always
I think we are again facing some network glitches. Please bear with us, and we are trying to fix it up as soon as possible. Please cooperate with us a little bit.
I'm here again. And in younger children, we find both somatic and psychological symptoms. So children who do not want to go in contact, they are not interested in playing, but even symptoms of the body like enuresis, that means to peeing again, not on toilet, nail bit, very dramatically at night you are crying, dreaming bad stuff, something like that. And most serious, the school performance disorders. Older school children and adolescents, they show characteristic symptoms like adults. They feel weak, they feel guilty, they cannot sleep, they perhaps have tendencies of self-isolation and suicide impulses. Have a look for traumatic events. We have two main different types of traumatic events. One, we call it type 1 or monotraumatization, means the traumatic event is once and it is briefly. The durance is not long, and perhaps like a rape, like attack, accident, natural disaster. On the second side, we have events, they come again and again. So one person which attacks another person every day again, or every day several times. And the duration is longer. We call them type 2 events. And now when you look on corona epidemic, you understand corona pandemic, that means long duration worldwide. So that maybe it's type 2. And then you have an affected person in your family and perhaps this person dies, so it might be type 1. You can have both types in combination, of course. And on the other hand, there can a person be involved. So we have personal and non-personal traumas. Natural disaster is without any person. When you are attacked by a person, so it means a personal trauma. As longer the traumatization continues and as younger the child is, as closer the relationship between the child and the attacker is, and as more violent the attack is, so deeper the psychological injury is. Every one of us has, of course, negative experience in its life. No one has only positive experience. More and more, and a lot of constantly negative experiences, so one day you will become seriously ill. There's a certain border how much you can carry in your life. On the other hand, we know these people who had accepted just a few strokes in their life before, not too much, they have a certain, how can we say, they can accept next negative much better than those people who had never negative experiences in their life. That means a few negative experience makes you more healthy, makes you a little bit stronger. But the questions we have, what is a negative event? So maybe one person says, oh, it was quite okay, and other person says it was too much. And so where is the border? And what
Hello. Hello, doctor. Are you with us? Hello, doctor. Again, there is a link failure. Hello, doctor. Are you with us?
Yes, I'm here again.
Yeah.
That
Okay,
means-
doctor. Okay. Please, could you kindly wrap up the deliberation in 5 minutes? So I
Yeah,
think we can,
just
we can
2
move on
minutes.
with it. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Biological views on the virus because it is a social disease. When you look worldwide, you find countries with less or with more infected people. That even in Germany, we have hotspots. People with bad social conditions, they have more. There are more infected people than in places with better social conditions. What is the pandemic with you, with your mind? So now you are living in fear. You think your neighbor may be here, I again.
Yes, doctor. Okay.
And mankind is very powerful because just a few days we stopped all traffic, we closed all borders, and we could use all this power and money we talked about to give better so to kill it. But we only have ideas for handling it from past times. We need new ideas, and we need ideas to change our relationships, to accept children, to go together with children, to understand them, to understand their fears, to stable them. And of course, not one country can solve the problem with pandemic alone. We are all one mankind. We are sitting in one boat. So we are not weak, we are not helpless, and we are not powerless. So this should be the end of my presentation. And I apologize again for all technical problems we had. I have given all the files as a PDF, and you may receive them, and perhaps we have a little bit time to discuss. Do not know how it works because all the technical problems we have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, doctor, for your presentation and for your patience. And thank you to Sri Pinakira also. Thank you to both of the speakers, in fact, for their learned and very informative presentations. So this is all from my end. I hand it over to the college.
Thank you, sir. So with this, we are almost at the end of today's program. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and we are hoping that we will get your precious and valuable participation in tomorrow's discussion as well. Thank you, and we are closing here.
Thank you very much. Thanks all of you.